We're being joined by Mr. Brian Hou, who's a founding editor of the New Bloom magazine. He's joining us live from Taipei. Mr. Hou, this is going to be an extremely significant electoral victory here for Mr. Lai. And the fact that the DPP has managed to win the elections on a trot is something that China will be watching very closely. Give us a sense of how much a factor China was in these elections in Taiwan.
So what's interesting is the election shows the views of Chinese people regarding China, but it's a very narrow win. And the DPP did not win for its strengths on domestic policy per se, decreasing pushback against the DPP for failing to address socioeconomic issues, for example, socioeconomic equality in particular. And so it won because it is the party that maintains defending Taiwan's sovereignty, whereas the KMT, the opposition, is a historically pro-unification party. And so it did actually play a major role in that sense. And I think that there was a lot of talk about how it's the only thing that, not the only thing Chinese people are voting on, a cross-strait issue. It is still very important.
And also, Mr. Hou, a lot of people would want to know, the international media has been covering this election, saying that, listen, there's a lot of rhetoric that has come in from China. China had, of course, dubbed this election as a choice between peace and war for Taiwan. But for the local people within Taiwan, was it the China factor or were it the domestic issues, such as employment, such as inflation? What actually played a bigger role in terms of how the Taiwanese people have decided which way they wanted to vote?
It's hard to know because the sense of somebody like Ko Wen-je, the candidate of the Taiwan People's Party, a newer third party, who historically framed himself as an independent, is a sign of how people are hoping for someone that's anti-establishment in some ways, because his message was focused more on the economy. At the same time, it's a question. I think that domestic and international issues regarding cross-strait relations are very deeply interlinked, and each party, each major party, whether the DPP or KMT, part of their differing vision for Taiwan was actually regarding whether you want stronger trade links with China or with the Western world or with Southeast Asian countries in the region, especially between China or other paths forward for Taiwan's economy. That was also at stake, and it's a way in which domestic and international issues are linked for Taiwan.
Very much indeed, Mr. Brian Hou, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.